Hey guys, Gray here with another Destiny 2 PvP video. In this video, I wanted to talk about a build that I ran this weekend in Trials of Osiris. I haven't really been playing that much Trials lately. As we all know, there's kind of a myriad with problems just fundamentally with the rewards and the system of the game mode currently, and with the cheaters and stuff like that. I was taking a little bit of a break, but before the season closed out, I decided to sort of dive back into it, and I wasn't really feeling my Titan or my Hunter. I've been maining my Titan and my Hunter all season long, and I was just wanting something different. It wasn't clicking with me for whatever reason, so I've been really wanting to try out Top Tree Dawnblade on my Warlock. So I threw together a build, and lo and behold, we managed to go flawless. So I'm just going to talk about the build a little bit. If this video helps you out, please leave a like below and be sure to hit subscribe for me so I can keep you up to date on all the latest Destiny news. And you can check out all of my latest builds as I put them out. I try to do one at least every couple weeks for either PvE or PvP, depending on what I'm focusing on at the time. So I just try to get that info out there. So you definitely want to check those videos out. So let's talk about Top Tree Dawnblade a little bit and what sort of drew me to it. I see a lot of really high skill players, streamers, big guys playing Top Tree Dawnblade, and I think what I've deciphered is that it comes down to the absolute insane mobility that you have access to on this class. You take a look at the skill tree here, we get access to a perk called Icarus Dash, and it's completely unique playstyle for this tree specifically, and it gives you another ability. Basically, when you're in the air, you can dodge in any direction, and you can do it twice. It's unique in the fact that you need to set up a separate keybind for it. I personally put mine on my scroll wheel, so I can just flick it up real quick. I scroll wheel forward or up, and that way I can also have complete control over which direction I need to dodge in. But it's amazing what you can really do with it. I've got some gameplay running in the background. You might be able to see you can use it to gain insane amounts of momentum. You can use it to get out of really sticky situations. You can use it to create a gap between you and your opponent. There's so many different uses for it, and it has such a short cooldown. You constantly have access to it. And I can't talk about it enough how strong Icarus Dash is. But then we have other things in the talent tree as well, like Celestial Fire, which is an amazing, strong, ranged melee. I mean, you can literally shoot this down a sniper lane, and you might be able to get a tick of damage because wherever it makes contact with, it explodes, and it'll hit multiple targets. You can really use it to get some clutch kills, and it works perfectly fine in close range as well. It's really powerful. You also, and I know I'm just talking about the skill tree here, and I'll dive into it a little bit more. You have access to heat rises, and you can consume your grenade to basically glide endlessly. You can float as long as the buff is lasting, and you have near perfect in-air accuracy. You can really, depending on your loadout that you're running, you can get some insane snipes or peek a lane at a really weird angle if you know how to utilize heat rising. So those three things alone are extremely unique to Warlock, and I think it's just what I needed to get back into that competitive mindset and dive into Trials again, because I've just been getting a little tired of Titan and Hunter. This has been a fresh build for me to use. So my point being is that if you're looking for something like that, give Top Tree Dawnblade a try, because it's a ton of fun and it's extremely powerful. I'm going to talk about the weapons that I used and why I kind of mixed it up a little bit. So I know I'm still using extremely meta weapons, but from everything I've seen online, a lot of these Top Tree Dawnblade players, they use either a Revoker or another sniper rifle of some kind, because you can get some absolutely crazy snipes if you really utilize heat rises. You can be really high up in the sky, peek a lane at an angle no one is suspecting, and get some free kills that way. And I tried that out, but it just wasn't really working, at least for my team composition. So my buddy decided he wanted to snipe, so I thought I'd switch to a shotgun loadout, and it just clicked for me. I don't know what it was. I just started popping off. Having the added mobility on top of having an extremely aggressive loadout and playstyle, it just meshes so well. So I'm using the Dire Promise hand cannon. It's an incredible hand cannon, and it's just like other 150s in its class. It just has access to some really unique roles. This one I'm using has opening shot and rangefinder. With those two combined, you can hit some it almost feels like old hand cannons again. You can hit some really far shots, and it makes it feel a lot crispier on that opening shot. You can absolutely use spare rations, any other 150 that you're comfortable with. And then, of course, I was using Felwinters Lie. We just got access to this shotgun. I'm actually showing the wrong perks on here. I usually use it with quick draw and opening shot at all times in PvP. You can switch to Vorpal if you'd like for cleaning up supers and trials, and that's a super clutch move because you can see when the supers are coming in a trials match. But for consistency, having that opening shot is phenomenal on Felwinters. And since we got access to it recently, I've been really wanting to find a build and subclass that really let me pop off with the shotgun because I really enjoy that type of playstyle a lot. For the heavy, I'm using Truth. I mean, we were just kind of messing around. It seemed like a good idea. It's easy to grab rockets and trials and just get free kills with them. I've actually found them to be extremely strong lately because you can just fire it and forget about it. And if you get a kill, awesome. It's just good for your team. You don't have to worry too much about getting killed trying to use your heavy. As far as the armor exotic that I'm running, I'm just using transversive steps. I've always found it to be just an all-around extremely beneficial exotic for the Warlocks. I use it on most of my builds, but it increases your sprint speed, so you run even faster. It also kind of helps your sliding a little bit, which is good for shotgunning. You can slide further. And once you're sprinting for a little while, it automatically reloads whatever weapon you have equipped. And this is super beneficial on Felwinters Lie because it has a really pretty slow reload time. It feels like it takes forever to reload that shotgun, and you can just sprint for a little bit, get a full magazine back, and be right back in it. And it's great for hand cannon use as well. If you need to disengage, you can get a full reload before you re-engage for your next battle. As far as everything else, guys, I'm just using regular mods on flinching hand cannon, the enhanced small arms loader, hand cannon targeting, and things like that. I do take advantage of powerful friends. If you don't know, you can actually stack this multiple times if you have the right setup, but definitely worth taking advantage of if you have some sort of arc piece in your gear because it's going to give you plus 20 mobility, and it's extremely beneficial mod. It is going to get sunset eventually, but you're going to be able to get some time out of it, so definitely try to incorporate it into your build somewhere because it's extremely strong to use. But that's about enough out of me. I know it's a little bit of a rant, and there's not one major thing that makes this build pop off. It really is just the increase to your mobility with how aggressive you can be on Top Tree Dawnblade. Makes this such a fun and fresh subclass to play. If you're feeling a little burnt out with PvP, try switching it up and putting a build together that's similar to this, because I've had a renewed excitement for PvP and Destiny all of a sudden, just because now I just want to dive into my Warlock and play this as much as I can, because I really feel like I've been missing out by not playing this. So it's definitely worth checking out. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I'll let the rest of the game just sort of run its course. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope the video helps you out. Again, if it does, leave a like and hit that sub button for me. I really appreciate it. And we're coming up on the new season, guys. We'll probably have some meta shifts, some new changes, new subclasses and stuff may rise to the top, so I'll be sure to do builds as I see fit. Again, thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye-bye.